How to power scale the Pokemon franchise. So let's not waste any more time and get straight into the video. First, we should start with what's canon and what's not. The movies are a great example of this. Most of the movies for Pokemon are not canon, but there are a few exceptions like the Mewtwo vs. Mew movie, but the Arceus movie and the Hoopa movie are not canon. But everything else in the Pokemon franchise is fair game. From the anime, from the games, from the manga, all the way to that Pokemon card game. Yes, the Pokemon card game is canon to the franchise. Luckily for everyone, Pokemon is a very easy verse to start scaling. The dex entries are the most simplest way to start scaling, and it gives a ton of information of that particular Pokemon that you're trying to research in. And when you're reading all the Pokedex entries for that particular Pokemon, you can scroll to the bottom of whatever website you're researching on, and you can also find out different movesets and all their learning moves from level ups and evolution lines and egg moves. The only thing that doesn't count to that Pokemon's hacks are the TMs and HMs, because those are not originally part of that Pokemon. One of my favorite Pokemon moves is Haze, because it can completely negate and reduce all of the opponent's statistic amplifications down to completely zero. Do keep in mind, for Pokemon to be able to use these hacks, they have to be faster to their opponent unless the move says it's completely instantaneous and passive. Next, let's talk about on how to scale a Pokemon's IQ level, because I completely understand with people having trouble with that because they really just talk in their own Pokemon speech. So how do you really scale a Pokemon's IQ intelligence? Pokemon are very slept on when it comes to intelligence. Pokemon are capable to speak through telepathically and understand human speech. They're also able to sense people's ideals and emotions. But the more smarter types of Pokemon are definitely psychic types. Via Future Sight, they can see the future, and some Pokemon are just naturally smart, like Alakazam, that can reach IQ levels of over 5,000 and multiply continuously. So in conclusion, Pokemon should not be slept on and not to be underestimated in terms of intelligence, because they're pretty smart, man. And now that we talked about IQ and hacks, we should start talking about the more interesting and the more in-depth speed, strength, stamina, etc. Let's get into it. Now this is where it gets confusing, but don't you guys worry, I'm going to explain it in simple terms and so you guys understand. Now a lot of you guys understand how destruction and striking strength work. If you're able to destroy a moon, your moon level. If you're able to destroy a planet, your planet level. If you're able to destroy a star, your star level. You get the point. Most fictional characters fall into this category, and even in Pokemon, like Rayquaza, who's able to destroy Meteor Delta, that was capable of destroying the entire Earth, which makes him planetary level. But what about Pokemon or fictional characters that don't have that destructive capability but are able to create universes or stars or suns and stuff like that? In most case scenarios, this would still apply to your attack potency, since you're still emitting the amount of energy / force to be able to create that planet, meaning it would still apply to your physical strength or attack potency. An example of this is how like Ultra Necrozma is able to power the entire Ultra Space with its light. He's still emitting the amount of energy / power to be able to keep it stable, meaning he would still be high uni to multiversal levels of strength. Now I'm not going to dive too deep into stamina since it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have an infinite amount of energy, for example, that would apply to your stamina. If you fight in wars and battles, that would also apply to your stamina. It's very self-explanatory. Now Mega Evolution is a great example of this and how Pokemon cannot use it for long periods of time, and even Pokemon like Mewtwo, who are capable of using both X and Y, cannot use it for an extensive period of time. And even vastly powerful Pokemon like Zygarde with its 10%, 50%, and 100% form, it cannot last that long with its 100% state and has to revert back to cell form afterwards. An example of a durability feat is 50% Zygarde going up against Ultra Necrozma and pushing it back, which is very impressive considering the fact he's not disintegrating into his cells. So with that example, let's just dive right into speed, since you guys should know everything about durability and what it means. You guys are not 5-year-olds. Now to finish it off with speed, people really don't understand how the speed gap is between FTL and MFTL levels of speed, and I'm going to be able to explain that to you because you should be able to know and how big of a speed gap it is. People toss the words FTL and MFTL plus like so casually. People say Naruto's MFTL or Luffy's MFTL, and it's just not true at all. Them being able to dodge light a few times in their series should only calculate realistically FTL to FTL plus levels of speed. MFTL plus are characters like Frieza who are trillions or quite possibly quintillion times faster than light. So people please have to understand the difference in the speed gap between FTL is and MFTL plus is. Now let's talk about infinite speed. Now if you guys don't know what an infinite speed is or how it works, it's basically just crossing a finite distance in finite time. An example of this is Ultra Necrozma's light crossing the entirety of ultra space, which is likely infinite in size. And keep in mind, teleportation does not count towards this, because teleportation requires you to have a infinite speed thought process for you to be able to move from one place to another. It's not instantaneous. And to finish it off, immeasurable levels of speed is moving beyond linear time, which means the process or the way speed works does not apply. It is undefined. You cannot calculate it. It is incalculable. Moving beyond temporal or spatial dimensions can also grant immeasurable speeds. I'd also like to mention that stats do not correlate to lore, and it is purely for the games only and for the battle system, so it does not correlate to lore whatsoever. And that's the end of the video, so leave a comment down below if you have any further questions. I'll be sure to answer them all, and like and subscribe for more Pokemon content in the future. And join my Pokemon Discord, link in the description. It's just tons of Pokemon trainers just goofing around and having fun, trading and battling in Scarlet and Violet. I'm hosting giveaways every now and then, and it's just a lot of fun with power scaling and debates and stuff. So guys, I will see you guys next time. Peace.